He is one of the greatest pure running backs to ever suit up in the CFL, Willard Reaves, and he's got some interesting lineage. Joe Tilley's Great Canadian Sports Show coming up.
That's pretty cool.
Our guest today was born in Flagstaff, Arizona, calls Winnipeg home now. He's a running back, Northern Arizona University, Big Sky Conference All American. CFL, he played for Edmonton and Winnipeg. In the NFL, he suited up for Green Bay, Washington, and Miami. He was a four-time CFL All Star, winner of the Jackie Parker Trophy, the 1984 CFL's Most Outstanding Player, winner of the 1984 Grey Cup, a former police officer and politician, member of the Northern Arizona Hall of Fame and the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame. Welcome to the program, Willard Reaves. Great to have you here, Willard. Thank you for doing this.
How, how you doing, Joe? My pleasure.
I'm doing really well. I think, well, the last time I saw you in person would have been the 1984 Grey Cup when I went down there to do some pregame stuff for
Yep.
CFTO Toronto. But it was a few years back now. So,
Yes.
so I want to ask you. We like to begin at the beginning. So, how did you get into football? What led you into the game?
You know what? I guess I was good at it, and you started, of course, at the elementary school level, and then you went on to junior high school, and high school, of course, and also college. After college, believe it or not, I didn't want to go any further. I wanted to be a police officer right then and there. So um, things happened, I guess. I was getting ready to head to the police academy, and my chief of police, Chief Madden, called me in his office and told me, "Look, you're headed to Green Bay. You're going there. Whatever happens, it happens, but you'll never know what's going to happen unless you try it." So I tried it, and and now I'm on your show.
It's funny because uh, you mentioned that you wanted to be a police officer, and apparently
Yes,
it comes naturally because were
yes,
you inspired by any chance by law enforcement, one of the greatest lawmen in history, a guy named Bass Reeves, who was your great great grandfather, it turns out, a freed
that
slave
is
who became
correct.
a sheriff, made over 3,000 arrests over a 35-year career from 1875 to 1910 as a deputy marshal, shot down 14 criminals in self defense. This guy was an absolute legend.
Yes,
This is at a time when law enforcement agents were, their lives were always in peril, killed by outlaws all the time. First of all, what did you know about Bass Reeves? Was he an inspiration for you, or was it just happened to be coincidental that you and he wanted to pursue that line of work?
it was coincidental that I wanted to be in the same line of work. My late father, told me years ago uh, about my grandfather, but I didn't pay any attention to it because I thought it was just something that he was probably yipping and yapping about. But as the years wore on, I started looking and started seeing a lot of things that portrayed um, uh, Bass Reeves. So I decided I'm going to look him up. I'm going to look up and see what we have, and I'll do a DNA test and make sure that this is legit. And sure enough, everything was legit. And I said, "Oh my word, here we go." So I started um, reading up on him, and the more and more that I read up on him, the more and more I was very impressed with him.
Well, I mean, his story is incredible. Really should be a movie. I
Yes,
know his story has been sort of touched on in TV shows and films over the years, but I mean,
yes.
just an incredible story. I mean, we could do a whole show on that for sure, no doubt about that. But back to football for just a sec here. I want to
Okay.
Northern Arizona University from 77 to 1980, rushed for 2,139 yards for the Lumberjacks. In 1979, you ran for 1,084 yards, voted first team All Big Sky Conference, first team All American. and you mentioned decided you wanted to become a police officer, but your boss had other talked you into going to Green Bay. Tell us how you end up in Green Bay and from there to the CFL.
Well, I went to Green Bay as a free agent.
Okay.
People in Flagstaff wanted to uh, see if one of their own can make it, and the chief saw a lot in me. Like I had the support of the fire department, the Flagstaff Police Department, the sheriffs, all over back then, and they wanted to see if one of their native sons can actually make it, and so I, took it on myself. Okay, anything that I do, I do it 100%. I won't do things half-ass. So um, I went out and did my best to make it, and I didn't make it too far with Green Bay. I only spent a year and a half there, but Edmonton called me and went there, signed a contract with them, um, played the preseason. Then next thing you know, I end up being traded here to Winnipeg, and that's where the history started.
So was that Hugh Campbell that signed you in Edmonton?
There was Hugh Campbell that signed me in Edmonton, absolutely, and Cal Murphy
Right.
was the offensive line coach, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so they trade you to Winnipeg, which is unbelievable that they'd let a guy like you slip through their fingers. Of course, growing up in
Yes.
Edmonton, I was an Eskimos fan, and I used to sit in the end zone in the Knothole gang and watch some pretty great talent go through the league. But I just can't believe that Edmonton allowed you to slip through your fingers, but they did. So in 1984,
Yes.
now with the Blue Bombers, you led the league in rushing, 1,733 yards on 304
Yes.
carries, 18 touchdowns. All of those, by the way, at that particular time were team records. You set a
Right.
CFL record with 2,142 yards from scrimmage. You were named the CFL's most outstanding player. Tell us about that season, and did you feel like you were Superman?
Oh, well, I didn't feel like I was Superman. We had a great nucleus of players, very skilled at their positions, and we trusted each other to make sure that they did their job. We had to do our job, and what was so unique about it is it wasn't the greatest team that Winnipeg's ever had. It's just the fact is that we played together as unit, offense and defensively, and it boiled down from if one player's going out on the town or something like that, everybody went. If somebody decided they are not going to go, then people would stay at home. So we were extremely, extremely close back in 1984, and um, of course, we won the Grey Cup, and that really proves the fact is that a team that is talented, but not as talented as some of the teams in the league was back then. But we just played together as a unit.
Yeah, that was great. Capping up like a dream season off with a Grey Cup title. I mean, really, you couldn't have
Yes,
asked for more. It was a frosty day in Edmonton, I recall, and right here you
it.
take the handoff from Tommy Clements and
Yeah.
cruise in for the touchdown. The Ticats were offside. There was a flag on the play. It didn't matter because the touchdown
Yeah.
counted. Um,
Yes.
so, your team would take total control in this game, as you mentioned. Maybe not the most talented team in the league, but a team that was together and did everything together. And
Yes.
boy, what a time that was for you, eh? Uh,
It was. It
this game
was. It was
tough on you
fantastic.
personally, though. Tough on you personally because in this game, you got whacked a couple of times. That Ticats had some nasty linebackers, Rod Skillman, Ben Zambiasi, and you would take your
Yes.
lumps in this game. But
Yeah.
at one point you did leave the game. Was it your shoulder? And how bad was it?
It
And
was my
also,
shoulder. It
yeah,
was my
yeah,
shoulder.
it was your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. Actually, I think I kind of cracked it a little bit, right? And
right,
I mean, they put a little padding underneath that, and I went back in later on. But it was
right.
Leo Ezrins who hit me because as I was making a cut to go upfield and stuff like that, I actually slipped, and as I'm slipping, Ben came in. I mean, not Ben. Leo came in and just hit me on the shoulder, and it was it was a stinger more than anything else, but I was not going to stay out of the game much longer.
Right. I mean, you cracked your shoulder, but you were getting back in there. It's such an important game and such a big moment for you, wasn't it? So your
Exactly.
team actually
Yes,
overcame in that game. Your team overcame an early 14-point deficit to the Ticats,
that's
ended up
correct.
beating them
That's correct.
47-17, shut them out the rest of the way.
Oh
And that
yeah,
was pretty
I
cool
think
because yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I think after I think we got motivated after the late David Shaw picked off that one pass there from Dieter Brock and take it in, and then after that we just all just came together and said let's do it. But we played Hamilton, as a matter of fact, every single game we played Hamilton that year. Hamilton always jumped out to a 10 to 15 point, 10 to 14 point lead on us every single time during the regular season. And we didn't panic as much in the Grey Cup because we knew that once we got going, there's no way of stopping us. And luck has it, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, now 47-17, the final score, the beatdown of the Ticats. It was Winnipeg's first Grey Cup title in 22 years, and I believe it was
Yes,
Cal Murphy's first Grey Cup title. It was certainly as running the show there.
yes, yes.
What a moment! Tell us about this moment.
This was fantastic. I mean, you're seeing, we're jumping around on the sideline there. We've seen the presentation of the cup, and for for me, it didn't hit me as much as it did the Canadian players because the tradition. Yeah, we won a championship. I've been part of championship teams and stuff like that. It didn't hit me as as hard as it did at the time because the importance of it did not weigh until we got back to Winnipeg, until we got into that parade and we're in City Hall and stuff like that. And I said,
Uh,
"Wow, this is actually this is a big deal here. This is really truly a big deal." After 22 years, man, these people were hungry, and I mean that that city went crazy. Winnipeg just went absolutely nuts that day. It was really something to be a part of, and that's when it finally hit me. I said, "Oh wow, okay, these people are really, they're really happy that we did what we did is something there," and it just kept growing from there.
yeah, it was a long time, but 22 years after Bud Grant, Kenny Payne et al. Did it
Yes,
back in the 60s. So that was a long time
yes.
ago. But here's a clip of a younger Willard Reaves after that Grey Cup victory. Let's have a
A
look.
brave day. Willard Reaves, you played
Okay.
with that bad shoulder. Congratulations, partner.
Thank you very much. This is something we've been looking for all year round. We've been working for it since game one, since day one. Going into training camp, and this is the goal we had set to get to the Grey Cup.
Well,
and
you
we're
played
here.
super. Congratulations on all of your accolades. I hope that shoulder heals quickly, and best of luck next year.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Willard, one more thing I want to ask you. It doesn't hurt as much now, eh?
Oh no, heck no. I got 6 months to heal and whatever. Man, I got to go to the police department, do my little running, do my little riding and whatever. But heck, we're going to
Okay.
come back next year.
Okay.
What do you think when you see that young guy?
Was my voice that high? That's pretty cool.
You're
It's funny
excited,
you
that's
look.
all.
Yeah, you see back in those days, and you reminisce on it. It's something to behold. It's something truly something that you want to just hold on to. We were just honored just the other night, as a matter of fact, 40-year anniversary of the Grey Cup in 1984 at the RBC Convention Center, and it was good to see some of the players there. The ones who made it out was really special. So it just keeps getting better and better. The memories are still strong, and it's something that I'll never ever forget ever.
Some good years with Winnipeg, and then you chose to go back, give another crack at the NFL, and Washington and Miami were the stops. Tell us
Correct.
about the second crack at the NFL.
Well, I was at the tail end. I didn't truly want to continue to play, I thought that I'll give it a go for another 3 years or something like this, and that's what I did. And once it was over, I had no reservations of saying, you know, uh, you know, I like to continue to play. I didn't want to continue to play. I wanted to get on with my career, and I think it was a move that was very beneficial for me and my family.
So coming back to Winnipeg, and that was the goal. It's interesting, coming from Arizona, where the weather's pretty good, to Winnipeg, and a guy who grew up in Edmonton. I know what the weather's like in the prairies. It's pretty cold. And what made you want to stay in Canada?
It's probably to do with family. I think more than anything. I've been in the states all this time. I met my wife here, and um, and the schools I thought were a lot better in terms of me being calm about sending my kid to a public school or private school. We end up sending our kids to a private school, but it had to do with the education. It had to do with probably uh, some of the inroads that I've achieved in terms of being well known here, and probably doing a little bit more here in Manitoba than I would have done in the States. So that's why I decided to stay here. School, wife, of course, and the people of the province of Manitoba. Very friendly people, and I wanted to be a part of it.
So you got into policing full time, and tell us about that decision, and you're pleased with that move.
And it wasn't the police department here; it was with the sheriff's department here. I got into
Right.
sheriff's, and actually, it happened. I didn't apply for the position. One of the one of the ladies uh, who was director of sheriff services called me and asked me if I would consider joining the Manitoba Sheriff Services, and I said, "Okay, since I'm staying here, sure, I'll give it a crack." And so my first year, I worked out in Portage La Prairie.
Mhm.
I went there, and then next thing I was out in Selkirk, Manitoba for about 3 or 4 years. Then I went out to Steinbach for another 4 or 5 years, and then I came into the city, and where I was promoted to sergeant at that time, and the rest is history. I stayed there for 20 years, and then I went over to the Maintenance Enforcement Program for 3 years, and then I retired.
So, you also got well, you remember the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame, the Northern Arizona
Yes,
Sports Hall of Fame, terrific honor. I was stunned to see that I couldn't find your name in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, and I was going, "What is with
I'm
that?" I
not
mean,
there. Yeah,
what
I'm not
happened?
there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a friend here who's been nominating me every year, and he says he's going to continue to do it until I'm in. So he, who knows? I don't know um, what the future holds when it comes to that, but I'm just happy that I got to play in a very open spirited league like the Canadian Football League.
Well, you set a number of records. You
Yes.
were a former most outstanding player. I couldn't find another most outstanding player that is not in the CFL Hall of or the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. And a lot of guys who I looked at in there go, he's in and Wilder's not. Very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to make a little push for you right here now. How's that? So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I assume you're a Bombers fan.
I am.
Have you been following this teams at this year's team at all?
Oh yeah, I've been. I'll go to the games and I'll do signing autographs, and but I just love watching these guys. These guys are very, very talented. They're good. They're very entertaining. I mean, I'm like I'm sitting here watching Brady here. out
Brady,
there.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was with him the other night actually, and Joe Pop mentioned that when we were being introduced at the Hall of Fame gala, he mentioned that I had 1,733 yards in 16 games, right? And
Right.
and
Yeah.
and everybody so Brady came over and he said, "Oh, I didn't know it was just 16 games. Holy!" So he said, "Just think if you'd had 18 games in that year, you'd probably been over 2,000 yards, you know." And I said, "Probably would have." And I told him that I'll come in one of these times and coach you up, and hopefully that you can get 1,700 plus yards soon. So that's what it is. It's all about the camaraderie. It's about keeping the support of a franchise that helped you establish yourself in a new place such as here in Winnipeg. So I'm very proud of them, and yes, I watch as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, especially after that 0-4 start, and here they are on top of
Yeah,
the
I
West
know.
Division. It's pretty
I
amazing.
know.
Zach Claros has been incredible, and
He
Brady,
has.
yeah, super. Kenny Lawler as well. So very
Yes.
good team. So now you have some pretty athletic kids. Jordan played
Yes.
pro football and basketball, and of course Ryan has had a heck of an NHL career. Kind of a well-known guy
Yes.
out here in Toronto. What's the key
Yes.
to achieving to raising high achieving athletic kids like that?
I think on where I was concerned in terms of with my kids, I was going to let them play. I never pushed them to any sport. I didn't push them in football or hockey or anything like that. I simply said, I will pay for your hockey. I will pay for your football. I'll pay for whatever you need to do. There's only one requirement I have. You cannot quit. Okay, you cannot quit.
Mm,
If you think you're going to quit because you don't like the team or whatever it is, I'm not going to allow you to quit. You're going to go out there and you're going to give it 100%, because if you don't give it 100%, we're going to talk. So I
uh-huh.
never had to have that talk with my kids, because every single sport that they got into, they excelled in it. And of course, coming at the end there, they had to pick and choose where they wanted to play, not what I wanted to do, what they wanted to do. Jordan chose basketball, Ryan chose hockey.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean, outstanding athletes, both of them. You also have
Yes.
a neighbor. Uh, I don't know. I guess maybe former neighbor. I don't know if he's still the neighbor, but Scott Oak, who was on this show.
Yes.
And we were,
Scott was,
we
yeah,
talked to Scott about his relationship with, with the,
with
with
Ryan.
the Reeves family, and yeah,
Yeah.
let's have a look at that, Rick.
When you're helping the
Let's
Okay.
team
have a
win,
look.
what? For what? Oh, get out of
That is priceless.
Winnipeg's finest right here.
Always got your I like your outfit.
Oh, what a guy.
Someone get me a towel. Cassie, you got a question for Mark?
Goal.
And then rubbing your head for good luck during interviews
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like that. And
that's
it
a good
worked
look
for
for
him.
me.
Yeah.
Well, it worked once,
Yeah.
and now he can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the first time he
exactly.
did it, he scored the goal that knocked the Jets out of the conference final in
Yes,
18,
he did.
and
Right.
so it's his go-to move now. So I'm ready for it, but admittedly, with me being follicularly challenged, it's not a good look. But what the heck?
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
I
tell us about that
remember Madison.
relationship, eh? Yeah.
The relationship was really, really great. We had Ann, Scott, Darcy, and Bruce, and
Hmm.
um, our kids. When there was a birthday party going on, the Oaks were always there. We're always there with them, and um, it was a relationship that blossomed over time. And our kids, like I say, are our best of friends. Darcy was my son's best man at his wedding, and of
Mm.
course, tragic end for Bruce and this thing, like, I mean, affected us all. And um, it's, we know that, some of the things that happens, it happens, and this right here should never ever happen. But um, you know, we stayed together. We stayed focused. Our friendship has grown over the years, and it's still that way to this very day.
Yeah, you mentioned Bruce, and they opened the Bruce Oak Recovery Center.
Yes,
I guess it's a couple of years ago now, and they do such amazing work. I mean, they really tackle addiction head on the way it should be. You got a chance to stay there for long periods of time, and
yes,
I believe there's just had um, an expansion with regard to women after Anne, who they lost as well, the Oak family,
yes,
and so. That's it's a tragic story, but there's some real positives that have come out of this, thanks to
yeah.
Scott and Darcy and Ann.
Well, the family's always been a family of positivity. I mean, uh, you will ask Scott about something, Scott, oh, whatever, da da da, let's do it and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
They would come over when Ryan was drafted by St. Louis. We had a big old huge party at our house next door, and Scott and Ann was there, and I'm telling you, some of the things that happened that night, I tell you, it was amazing, and it just solidifies just how close, how well the friendship grew over the years, and um, they're part of our family, and they'll always be part of our family.
yeah. Beautiful. I want to ask you a little bit about Ryan. I mean, he's
Okay.
signed a new contract with the Leafs, an extension, and he plays a key role in that team. Is certainly as far as I'm concerned. And what does he like? What does he think about the Leafs? I'm sure you've had a chance to have a little bit of chat with him. Does
Oh
he
yeah.
like this
Well,
the new coach, and he doesn't like what's happening?
you know what, he never liked Toronto. I can tell you that right now. Even when he
Right.
signed his contract last year or something, he told the general manager, "Look, I don't like Toronto." Okay, so let's get let's get let's get this
Let's get
thing
that
over
straight.
with. Let's go. Let's get ourselves a Stanley Cup and the rest of the stuff. Whatever it happens, happens. But I'll do my best to help you win that Stanley Cup since 19 was it 67 or something like that.
67. Yeah,
But
67.
yeah,
Yeah.
so um, he likes it. I mean, I don't know how well he got along with the former coach, but I know he gets along well with the coach that they have now. He's from St. Louis, of course, and he's one of those
Right.
coaches who likes the grit in the end. That fourth line. He really appreciates his fourth line, and he has no qualms about putting a fourth line in against any line from another team. So we'll see what happens this year. It's too bad they lost last night, 1-0. But I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Toronto will come together. I think Toronto's has done a very good job of where they want to be. I think if they're a couple players short or whatever, they'll make it up. I'm pretty sure.
So, last few years, you've turned your attention to politics. Became
Yes,
deputy leader of the Manitoba Liberal Party, almost won your seat a couple of times. What prompted
yes.
the decision to move into politics, and are you still involved?
I'm still involved with politics. I actually I resigned my deputy leadership role with the Liberal Party, and I will
Hmm.
probably move into another party pretty soon. Um, I've always been in politics. I've always, complained and yipped and yacked and say, well, if I was doing
Yeah.
this, if I was that, if I was doing this, I would do it this way, right? And so the wife just looked at me and said, what are you waiting for, right? So all right. So I got into it, and for some reason I feel right at home in the politics, right? Because they're saying that you can be a politician. People they're gonna change you, and not yet. They haven't
Right.
changed me yet.
No.
I said no. I'll be who I am. Simply put, I'm not going to be one of those politicians that tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth, and that's it. If you don't like the truth, well, that's too bad.
Yeah, and if you do things right, you can help other people, right? And I just
Exactly.
find an observation I've made is that people who help other people tend to be happier than people who just sit back and complain about other people, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. That's exactly right, right? And yeah, I know, as some of my friends will say, this politics is going to beat you down. Well, it hasn't beat me down. I mean, yeah, frustration sometime, I agree, but there are some things that we can all do together to make it life better for everyone, not just the top 1%. I mean, we're talking everybody. We're talking the homeless. We're talking everybody. I go um, to the homeless shelter every Sunday morning to feed
Mm.
the homeless there, and that's very rewarding to do that. It's something that's always on my mind. I never pass up an opportunity to help somebody, especially in need. Um, so politics is a place where I need to be at, where I can try to make a difference in the lives of, if it's just one person, starting at one person and generating to be more. But I think I'm in the right, right area to do that.
Well, the best defensive tackles, defensive ends, and linebackers couldn't beat you down in the CFL. I'm pretty sure that politics won't beat you down, and you got a good heart, and I hope you do extremely well out there. So,
Yes.
we are partnered with a group called Believe, Become, Be You. It's a mentorship
Oh,
program for kids from 10 to 17. What's the message you have for kids who are growing up in these challenging times today?
this is very challenging for any kid. And when I go out to speak with kids and whatever, I simply tell them to be themselves. Okay, don't try to be
Mm,
someone you're not, right? And if we can just horn in on the fact is, there's a lot of things that you need to do before you get to where I am at in terms of adulthood and stuff. Where you're going to be at a young age. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a police officer. I never wanted to be a professional football player. Um, but I told things change. Things change. The fork in the road sometimes takes you in different places, and you just need to be ready for it. And how you're going to be ready for it is get as much of the education as you possibly can. Someone tells you something, you look at it, you said, okay, I see what it is. Go find more information about it. Be a student of a student. You need to
right.
do these things. And if you can do that, you're halfway there.
Yeah, if you develop that passion, anything, you can do anything. Okay, just ask
That's
Ryan,
correct.
ask Willard Reaves, right?
Yeah.
So, listen, I've really enjoyed this conversation, Willard. Thank you for taking the time to join us. This is awesome.
It's my pleasure, Joe. Nice seeing you again, by the way, after all these years.
Many years. It's only 40 years. What the heck? What's 40 years
What
of
the heck,
insurance?
Yeah, just a drop in a bucket.
Yeah, right. All right. Thank you, sir. When we come back, remembering two of the great soccer goals of all time. We'll be back. Addiction Rehab Toronto, Toronto's #1 alcohol and drug treatment center, saving lives, reuniting families. The only treatment center in the province to offer medical detox, treatment, sober living, and lifetime aftercare all in one place. Our unique and specialized programs are designed to equip our clients with the tools to successfully lead a life of dignity, respect, and purpose. Let us help save your life or your loved one's life. Call today for more information or to facilitate an intervention. 1-855-787-2424 or visit addictionrehabtoronto.ca. Which goal was bigger, better, and more impactful. First, we've got Leo Messi's jaw-dropping solo run against Getafe in 2007, where he dribbled through pretty much the entire team, recreating the kind of magic we only knew from Maradona. One man, one ball, pure genius. Versus Cristiano Ronaldo's iconic overhead bicycle kick against Juventus in the 2018 Champions League. That goal had fans and even the opposition standing to applaud. A moment of pure athleticism and timing. So, which one was better?
Rely on Walton Restoration's 40-plus years of excellence in residential and commercial restoration. Their strong reputation is built on workmanship, professionalism, and outstanding customer service. Trust Walton as your dependable partner in emergencies, serving Durham, Kawartha, and Northumberland regions. Call 905-725-5666 or visit waltonrestoration.com. Experience top-tier workmanship and service. Walton Restoration, the trusted name in property restoration. Join satisfied customers like me.
Parents, what's the biggest fear for kids 10 to 14? A future they think they can't handle. At Believe, Become, Be You, we know confidence in the future is a habit we can build. Our course doesn't just prepare kids for the future, it seeds them with skills they will use now. For a limited time, the I Believe in Me Foundation is offering the first 1,000 kids and their parents 1 year free access. This priceless opportunity will save you over $2,000. This isn't just a course. It's a journey in developing life-enhancing skills that will grow with your child, fostering gritty minds, creative futures, and better bonds. Get signed up now at BelieveBecomeBeYou.com. That's BelieveBecomeBeYou.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Tilley, and I want to tell you about the painting pros. Patrick and his crew recently came into my home and they painted the walls, they added some color. It's fantastic, and I can't be more satisfied with the work they did. That crew is tremendous. They were professional, they were courteous, they were respectful, and they did a fantastic job. Look at that. Look at that color. I just can't stress enough how satisfied we truly are with Patrick and his crew. For all your painting needs, go with the pros.
And we want to thank all the folks who make this show possible. These are friends, trusted business associates, and all-around great people. We highly recommend them all, and thank you for your support of Canadian sports. A reminder that the show is available on iTunes, Spotify, Breaker, wherever you get your podcast from. Also, check out the show on YouTube. All of our past great shows are there, clips, shorts. Like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Go ahead and do it. We want to thank Willard Reaves for being in the program. We want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Brian Gribben Insurance Planning, helping you solidify your financial future.
At BGIP, what we do that's unique in the marketplace is we show people how to spend and enjoy their money in the early years of retirement without the fear of running out. Also, we're able to do this without you having to change financial advisors. Please look us up at bgip.ca today, and let's book a 30-minute phone call to see how we can bring value to you and your family in your planning.
Call Brian today for all your retirement needs. We did. 905-686-5678.
MNP, a leading Canadian national accounting, tax, and business accounting firm. MNP proudly serves and responds to the need of their clients in the private, public, and nonprofit sectors. Through partner-led engagements, MNP provides a collaborative, cost-effective approach to do business and personal strategies to help people and organizations to succeed across the country and around the world. With local offices in Oshawa, Mississauga, Burlington, and more, their team is here to support you. Visit mnp.ca today to learn more. Rooted in 60 years of tradition, Sleepy Hollow is a private golf club with a friendly community of members just minutes from Toronto. With mature trees and rolling fairways, Sleepy Hollow provides a challenging and enjoyable experience for passionate golfers. Enjoy great golf, amazing dining, and a picturesque patio second to none. Visit sleepyhollowcountryclub.com. Joe Tilley here. My wife Penny Claire and I recently took an amazing trip to Egypt and Jordan with Trip Oppo. And here are our top 10 must-dos. Last but not least, we relaxed at a luxury resort and took a dip in the famous Dead Sea. This beautiful resort was a perfect way to cap off our incredible adventure in Egypt and Jordan. After days of exploring ancient ruins and bustling markets, it was wonderful to just kick back, put on a little mud, and soak up the sun by the Dead Sea. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the amazing cuisine in Egypt and Jordan. Don't forget to try the delicious local food like mouth-watering Egyptian barbecue. And the best part is that our Trip Oppo tour includes almost all of the meals, so you can indulge in the local cuisine without worrying about opening your wallet. I would highly recommend that you book your next trip through Trip Oppo. Call them today. Guests on Joe Tilley Sports receive a gift certificate from Classica Imports. Top of the line imported men's clothing. Check out the Classica Essential Collection now. Go to shopclassica.com.